Now we're going to see Beis Din Mizbarach Daf Tes Vov of Avodah Zarah. Afila the Yizbarach Veshamai Ibisil Kimishna Achroina have a Beitze Gidule Gufa Keivah Mimakim Acher. So what is this? It goes on a Mishnah on Edius Perik Hey. Basil says Beitze Neveilah Surah. Mishamai says Muteres. So the question is, do we must say that Beshami goes with Mishnah? Beshil is the one that says that Aser. It's one of the things that Beshil is Machmer. So do we have to say Beshil goes like Mishnah Rishoina? He says that it's Aser. It seems that he holds like Mishnah Rishoina, that Neveilah is Aser, even though it's not part of the body, just like the Rennet. You say if it died, you cannot use the Rennet. So the Gemara, no. It could be different because the Beitza egg is more considered like the body itself. So that's why Basil says that the Beitza, the egg of a Neveilah, is Asr. But Rennet, you can agree to Mishnah Chroina that the Rennet of an animal that died you could use to make cheese. V'asi kahai demar Rabbi Yossi bar Rabun b'shem Rabbi Yechanan ma'aseh b'bnoi shel Rabbi Yehuda v'Shamua shebikshu lehem ze'ivim Yossi v'shleish me'es tzoyin shebaku lehem. The wolves came in and they tore apart more than 300 sheep. They were matter. They said no problem. You can go and use the rennet from those animals. They said that's the heter. So we see from this that there is a difference in understanding that a beitza is more problematic than the rennet. Now we go to the Mishnah. It says Ki toivim deidechem yoin. The Gemara is going to bring some agadata on this subject here. Gemara says like this: Doidem divrei tzofrim ledivrei Torah v'chavivim kedivrei Torah. So he says that this pasuk can be used on comparing the Chachamim's words and the Torah words. So the Torah says you should know that the words of Chachamim are just as important, just like friendly, like Divrei Torah. The Chikeich, Divrei Sofrim is Kayayin Atoif. It's just like. So where does he learn that? From this pasuk. Chikeich means Divrei Sofrim is Kayayin Atoif, just like Divrei Torah. Same thing. I don't know where he sees chikech means they were soifrim, but it's a drasha. So just trying to say that you can compare the things that Chazal were moisev just like they were Torah. Shim ba'ba b'shem of Yechanan doidin they were soifrim yoysim they were Torah. Avim yoysim. Ki toivim deidecha mi yoyin. Yoyin means the Torah. And deidecha means the things that Chachamim added. So the friends, he's the friends of the Torah, the Chachamim. I'm thinking the Chikeich has the letters of Chachamim, Ches Chof. Maybe that's the drasha. I can bring you a proof that it's more important than the Torah. If you would not say Krishma at all, you would just be over on the say. He was trying to be machlek like Bishamai and to read while he was leaning at night. That means he's going against the Chachamim. Tanei b'shmo the Torah yesh b'hem isav yesh b'hem heter yesh b'hem mechanish b'chamuram v'soifim kulam chaymer. Tanin taman oimer ain't tefillin laver the Torah potter. Person that says totally there's no tefillin, he's not a zaken mamre. Chamish the tofis lois the v'soifim. He's going against Chazal. He says no, Chazal were not right. You have to put in 5 parshis. That's even worse. He's chayev misa as zaken mamre. Chanina b'shem Rav Idi b'shem Atanchem Rav Chia Chamun there is a kain there Neviim. It says in the pasuk for the Novi, don't tell them any muster. Stop. It's not going to help. Means the Chacham, the Torah is yain, sheichar is the chacham. So that's even more important. Even that they don't want to listen to a navi, you still have to teach them the Torah. Navi v'zok l'man doimen l'melech sheshilach shnei semantim shaloi l'medina. He sent two of his senators, or I don't know the exact translation. It's probably some kind of high dignitary in the Roman era. Al-echad mehem kosav, and one of them he sent, Im eine mar lechem choysen shali, if it does not show you my seal, al taminu loy, don't, I have to sign on the paper. Al-echad mehem kosav, pisha eine mar lechem choysen shali aminu loy. You have to listen to him even though he doesn't show any seal. Kach, no, v'roi ksiv, nasanech oisam oifes, b'ramocha api atoyesh yerucha. This is a very sides the Chazal that teaches the importance of Divrei Chachamim, of Chachmei Mishnah and Chachmei Talmud, that we must listen to them. That's the side of Torah Shabbal Peh. Whatever they interpret, whatever they say, we must follow. Ma soifa, what Mishnah says, soifa. According to Daita Yofa, soifa. Soifa means gomila, he swallows it. Shimalak Shomer, the kois zoyim. Ado omre, ashreis kois zoyim, le'nehen v'le'm moyel. It says that interesting comparison. He says that this guy that takes this from a carbon oiler, you're talking here about the Keivah, of a oiler. He's asked him, why can't you eat the Keivah of a goy? If you say because Keivah is Neveilah, the Gvina of a goy. You see, because Keivah is Neveilah, that's not an issue. Like Keivah is oiler chamura, and Keivah is Neveilah. It's also about no a Keivah, and it still we say Yolaru. So what's the issue here with the Keivah of a Neveilah? Even from an oiler coin that has, it's not picky. Is allowed to drink up that Keivah of a oiler. So it says kakois zoyhem. It's just like drinking in a kois of a that's zoham, that's very dirty. Taking a kois from Beis Hamikdash and drinking. So we say it's not considered hanoah, but it's also to do anyway. The omra should the kois zoyhem le'nehen v'loy moil. Okay, now we go further. Neveilah Gilui. So the Maaseh didn't tell him the reason why you cannot use the cheese of a goat, because he asked, it can't be the reason because you use Rennet of an Neveilah, because we know that even the oil you're allowed to use, you have to drink that Rennet. And if you say the reason is because of Avodah Zarah, no, they didn't tell him the real answer. Shmuel asked of Yehoshua, Yehoshua didn't answer anything. Very interesting. He did not want to bring up the subject for Ishmael. Ishmael was not big enough that he should be able to know the real reason, because we say the klal is if somebody's not big enough, he might take that thing and say, okay, doesn't apply, and be makel. So we don't want to make any kulas. We don't want to tell him the reason. Omar, it should be separated here. Omar, he said, Rab Chama Makshe, Rab Chama Ukva asked the kasha. If he wanted just to turn him away, Yehoshua didn't want to answer him. He should have told him the Chomish Hasuos Shabbat. The 5 different times where interesting language. Chomish Hasuos Shabbat. means interesting stuff, interesting things that you can turn your mind on them, think about them. Elohein, what is that? There's 5 places in the Torah you don't know exactly how how the pasuk is typed. Seis, Arur, Macha, Meshukadim, Become. So Gemara is going to explain these things. Allah Seitiv, Seis, you can read one way. If you'll be good, you'll be able to carry on. Or Seis, in Lo Seitiv, you'll carry sin if you're not doing the right thing. There were Iker, a Shoir Arur, that means on Shechem, or Arur Apam Kiaz. You can read Arak Mikaz. Yeshua say Lochem Ba'amalek Machar, that tomorrow you should make the Machama, or Machar Nechan Nitzavah you should give up. There was 4 goblets that were the shape of almonds. Oy Mishukadim Kaftereh Frecher. The buttons had the shape of almonds, or the flowers. Mayem Hashem El Moshe Hincha Shoichim Vesecha Become. You'll be nifter and you'll also stand up Chitza Mesim. You come on Mazeh Zona. Aptachim Moisef Ador Bnei Yaakov Bo and Sodek Shamam. They came from the field when they heard the story that happened with Dinah. Or Kishamam, and they heard Veis Atzva Nashim. So there's 5 or 6 places in the Torah that we don't know how to read the passage. There's some things that you have to shut your mouth and not give any reason. Some things in the Torah you're not supposed to say the reason. It's better if you keep quiet. It's a big aside. Not everything you have to say. Sometimes it's better if you don't talk, you don't say the reason. You're much better off that way. Oisi ve'oisi. Namely, dvarim shenemar liblechem. Namely, dvarim shenemar beidem in atzmi. It's only for me, not for you. Shemach alafte b'chag b'shem Shmuel bar Nachman. Kevosim l'v'shecha m'chi yisod stay atidem. Kevoshim ksiv. Okay, sad b'shor shetalmidim ktanim kevoish lefnei der b'toyre. Igdilu na'isa katudem galem rozet toyre. Once they become bigger, then you can tell them the rozet toyre. V'dama seyeya lama. Time Shim ba Yochai. Ein Spatner shetos sim lefneim. Ma sima zois eino niglis l'chol birya. Kach ein l'chol b'shus l'shekeya as atzmacha v'dim toyer elef ne'odim ksherim. You're not allowed to say certain things only in front of people that are kosher. You need not say everything for everyone. Eilo dvarim shel Akum asurim ve'ein yisur misarna. Cholef shechalova nachri ve'ein yisrael re'eu. So actually, the things we mentioned above was a machlokes. If it's also bar. For example, the cheese and the marayas and the medicine and the other stuff also before. This is the thing that everybody agrees that it's also only bachila. A pas hashemesh alahem, bread or oil from a goy, shlokos and cooked vegetables. Everybody's dinay to Hashem. Kvoshim shadakon losed b'hem yain. You put in some wine in these soaked vegetables. It's also bachil, not bano. Bechoimetz or vinegar means the goy did never. It was never wine. It was just vinegar from the first stage. The Torah is terufa and fish. Torah says a fish terufa that's sliced up. Metzir she'ein badoga, and the sauce. The tzir is when you sold the fish. It comes out as like a certain kind of gel, and that's called tzir. So we don't know if this comes from a tameh fish or a tahir. So if it does not have any fish in it, we're scared it comes from tameh fish. If it has a certain fish there, we can see it comes from kosher fish. Vachilik, chilik is also a certain kind of fish that's sliced very tiny pieces. They also were scared that it mixed with tameh fish. That's why you cannot eat it. The koyret shel chiltus, or tiny pieces of a certain spice that might be cut with a knife that has a fat of iser. Melach saloinketis, a certain salt that they added, also a certain coloring from fish to it, tameh fish. Either surim ve'ein surim isama. Cholav anochi lo meyasa. Why the chachamim aser milk from a goy? Abo Bar Yehuda sim b'shem Shimon Levi b'shem Gilui. The reason is of Gilui. Gilui we know is chasakona. You let the milk open, and snake might have come into it and drink some of it, and then it becomes poisonous. So it's dangerous to drink such milk. The Yaimet, Gemara asks the question, let the milk stand for a while and see, and once it turns into cheese, then the eres does not become into cheese. And you can take off all the watery substances, and then you're sure that you don't have any poison. There's always some water that's going to be left between the holes of the cheese, and that's dangerous. There's three kinds of poisonous. Tzof, echet tzof, echet shikeya, echet doima lesvacha. It's like in between. It's hovering. It's not like a hairnet. It's not totally. It doesn't go on the top. It doesn't sink in the bottom. It goes in between. The Gemara says now a story to show that there is these different kinds of poison that comes out from a snake. So the Gemara is going to say there was once a story. There were workers in a field. Is Galius close to the Maya. Then a certain jug of water became uncovered. The first people drank, they didn't die. But the second ones, the later people that drank from that, they died. And the Omer, we must say, was sinking in the bottom. The Omer is Galian, the guys of the Siddur Rabbah. The big, the gigas from the Smash used to have a big barrel of water for the people that learned in shul. In the second ones came weak and they died. A certain melon that became punctured with holes because the animals ate from it. Also, maybe it's entered in the low part of the watermelon, the bottom part. So it's dangerous even to eat from even if 9 people ate and nothing happened, or 10 people. So this is the first reason why it's also because of Gilui, because they leave it uncovered and it's dangerous. The second reason is because they mixed it with milk of a tame animal, for example, of a camel milk. If the Yid is sitting there and the guy is a worker, so then he's allowed to do it because the guy is scared that Yid is going to catch him mixing. So I guess they used to have, besides animals of regular sheep or goats, they had also tame animals in their herd. So if a Yid is there, the guy is not going to do anything bad. He knows that it's not legal to mix stuff. Piton, what's the reason why they aser the pas? Pas of a guy is aser. Mishnah says, a pas v'Hashem shalahem. Why can't you eat bread of a guy? It's not clear. Imum means not clear. So Moses is asking a question now. What is this? What is he trying to say here? Is this the pshat that should have been mutter where there's no pass, and they imimu aleo v'terua? That's the imum here means that they were matter. The word imum can mean two meanings. It can mean like not so clear, but they said it's okay anyway. Or it's not so clear and they said it's usher anyway. Two ways to translate the word imum. By Mokish ain passes from the tsuya within they pass nachem muteres. The imum ole basarua. The Gemara says, imum leisur. No. No such thing. Imum in the whole Shas, in the language of Imum, means leheter. It means that even though it's not so clear the heter, we said, don't worry about it. So the first Lishna makes more sense. That really, even if it's ain't pas Yisrael Matsuya, still we should have said it's Aser. They said, no, it's okay. If you cannot find kosher bread from a Yid, you can use from a Goy also. Another question was, it passed like the Tafshil Nachrimu, Kachan Om, Mosh ain't Tafshil Nach Yisrael Matsuyim, wenn ich der Tafshil Nachrim Mutarim. Could you even say like the second language that what that be'etzem ikardin should be mutter, and they said it's usher anyway. That's the second language. So he says that doesn't make any sense because why should we say such a thing that if it's not matzu, it should have been mutter? No, tafshil and achim. Is that a normal logic to say? Let's say food that go cook potatoes you cannot eat. There's no such thing because it's not matzui. You should not eat it. Kachana oimrim. Malkim she'ein kashil yisrael mitzuyan bedinish tafshil nachim etarim. Ekin bas from mitzuya dinish tehei bas nachim asura. So the first language makes much more sense. That the real meaning here is like this. Imam means really should have been Oster, even if you cannot find. Akum said, let's be good, let's try to make something easy, let's be ma'amam and say it's mutter. Not the vice versa, that really should have been mutter. Mutter. And Akum said, let's be ma'amam and aser it. No. That second way doesn't make any sense. So this is the end of Daf Tezvov.